A lot of Christians, and even what they call themselves, one of the doctrines that vocab teaches, replacement theology. They really believe that the Most High cut off the seed of Israel.
Forever, yeah.
But the prophecy is saying otherwise.
That's why
it was a time period where the Lord forsook His people.
Yep.
You know, He was angry, He was wroth with them, so He turned his face from them. But He never disregarded them as a people. Right. He still made a covenant with them at the end. Unless you're saying He never did away with His people. Neither did He replace His people with heathens that so-called accept, your version of Christianity. Right? Yeah. The Lord, it was a time period where He cut off, He cut Israel off. That's why they ended up in Syrian captivity. Then they ended up leaving that captivity and came to the side of the world where it was believed that there was no more.
He was going to follow the Lord's law.
Yeah. So they fell away over here, being over here in this landmass for so many years. But then you had Judah over there. Judah started fucking up too. And they ended up getting, casted off, carried away captive. And then we never, as a nation, we had the king set up. It was like really since the time of David and Solomon, we never been positioned as a whole nation sovereign. After that was it. So the Lord had to go through a process where He was second chancellor. Gathering a remnant to Himself by the time Yahushua came to see Him.
Yeah. Right? The Lord is only dealing with His remnant, with the election, not of the chosen nation. To be fair, I hate to say it this way, but to be fair, you can't continue to punish the righteous for the bad. You can't punish all your kids when they trying to be good.
Can't do it forever.
Yeah, come on. The badass kids is always going to outnumber the good kids. You're just going to continue punishing everybody the whole time. That can't go on forever.
It's kind of like always like that.
That's not a righteous balance.
You think in a classroom, you always got at least out of 20 kids, there may be 4 that really do good in school.
Yeah.
That care.
Maybe.
Yeah, 6 maybe.
And
the
turn a few of them.
Yeah, the rest of them is just bad.
You just said, ain't locked in.
Right.
So you can't continue to punish them others, that small remnant, for everybody else going on. And that's the beautiful balance of Yahweh B'Shem Shai, of how Yahweh Himself designed this thing to be set up. Let's hit that Deuteronomy 30.
It's Deuteronomy 30 at the top. And it shall come to pass when all these things are come upon thee, the blessing and the curse, which I have set before thee, and thou shalt call them to mind among all the nations, whither the Lord thy power Yahweh hath driven thee. And shall return unto the Lord thy power Yahweh,
and shall return. 28 was already the curses. All right, go ahead.
And shall obey His voice according to all that I command thee this day.
And as the brother the other brother Krasazah just mentioned, it was through after the fact of now the remnant is coming back. Okay, the remnant is who's coming back, but they're going to be counted as the nation because they will become the progenitors of the whole nation going into the kingdom of heaven. You got it, bro.
And shall obey His voice according to all that I command thee this day, that thou and thy children, it's like thou and thy children, with all thine heart and with all thy soul, that then the Lord thy power will turn thy captivity and have compassion upon thee.
And now we're in that time, literally right now. Okay, this is when the elect are being woken up and the hearts of our people are being turned through the elect. Is yours go?
Yeah.
You got it right now.
Beautiful. The Lord already set it up, man.
Right.
And
that's the point. Prophesying the end from the beginning. You guys.
I'll read it real quick. It says, Isaiah 44 at the top. It says, Yet now hear, O Jacob, my servant, and Israel, whom I have chosen. Thus saith the Lord that had made thee, and formed thee from the womb, which shall help thee. Fear not, O Jacob, my servant, and thou Jesurim, whom I have chosen. For I will pour water upon him that is thirsty, and floods upon the dry ground.
What does that represent? That water, that flood, that represents the truth, man.
Yep.
You know?
Wisdom. Faith.
Yeah, word. And Yahweh Shai, man, gave us the word through the Holy Spirit. It's the comfort, man. That's that water.
Hey, quick statement. Without this truth, man, without all the components that make up this truth, wisdom, faith, hope, an example in Yahweh Shai, all of these things, the miracles that will come because through the Holy Spirit, all of these things that make up the belief of this truth, without it, man, we're finished. We're already scattered and don't know who we are.
How many times a day do you drink water?
Right. Should you be drinking water?
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
The truth keep you alive, man.
Yeah.
So therefore, you gotta continue to consume, to drink every day, all day.
It says, I will pour my spirit upon thy seed and my blessing upon thine offspring, and they shall spring up.
The water and the water and his spirit is
synonymous.
Interchangeable. It's also the spirit as well. I will pour out my spirit, so you can pour the spirit also.
Right. The analogy is
Same with the bread.
Yeah.
God, it says, and they shall spring up as among the grass, as
It is beautiful, like it's beautiful how the Lord, you know, He used similar to like from farming, you know, basically the
Natural,
ancient way,
natural things of life.
producing,
Yeah,
you know, farming, fishing,
cultivating.
you know,
shit, breathing.
All the positive things that you should be getting out of life. And I don't know if you go, Joe.
No, go ahead.
I just to add to it. This is how you break the scriptures down for real and true understanding. You have to understand where these things take place. You Christians ain't got it, man. It's just the bottom line. You're not being fed and taught because they don't know. They were taught by somebody that don't want to know, that's not meant to know. Okay? Those that run the 501c3s that a lot of you churches come out of, they don't have the Holy Spirit. Okay? Some of them might have some of it, but they can't teach it for PC doctrine and for trying to fulfill that tax exemption. Here, you get it unadulterated, pure. You get it pure here.
Yeah, because we got the fear, man.
The water.
Yeah.
If we don't teach the truth, man, hey, the Lord can kill us, man.
Water.
Exactly. Like he's gonna kill y'all if y'all don't repent.
Yeah, that's the healthy fear, man. The scripture say, buy the truth and sell it not. You know, we're not selling this for money. You know.
Yeah.
it says, and they shall spring up as among the grass, as willows by the water.
So we're watching this Hebrew Israelite thing sprout, man, just as he said it would. As we've been watered by the word, we're watching the results of that fertilization and that watering begin to happen. Okay, the Most High is giving the increase now. We're starting to see things sprout up. We're starting to see strong branches starting to come into play. We're also seeing tares. We're starting to see fruit. Okay? We're starting to see all of those things starting to happen.
We are starting to see those wild vines too.
Yes, that's what I'm
false
saying.
doctrines.
Some of them false doctrine Israelites as well as just the belief in this whole thing by a lot of you denominations, Christian Catholic denominations out there, sprout your madness as well. That's going to be all taken care of. The Most High has that all coming up when you go to the parable of the tares and the wheat. Is meant to all sprout up at once, but what's going to be declared? The reapers, the angels, are going to gather up the true fruit, the true vines, and then all the rest are going to get cast into bundled up and cast into the fire.
Separating the sheep from the goats. Also.
Right. He's going to say something. Yes,
It says, one shall say, I am the Lord's, and another shall call himself by the name of Jacob, and another shall subscribe with his hand unto the Lord, and shall name himself by the name of Israel.
Hey, and we had to name ourselves because we searched the Spirit, and we were he just going to walk the car and bring it. Wow. Anyway, we're the ones that's now declaring. Nobody has told us that we're the children of Israel. Even some of these nations that know, they ain't told us. We have to find it out through the Holy Spirit that we work. So we have to name ourselves the children of Israel, and we're seeing how these prophecies and these curses line up and fit us.
Right. And we're able to do that through the Spirit.
He said that in the second chapter that in their captivity they should remember themselves.
I will put you in remembrance.
You know, he wants to do it. It started with men who the Lord, supped with first. We had men like Elder Abba. Spirit came upon him. Went in. He pretty much went into it. The Spirit sucked him. Right? And he shared it and spoke it. And other men that were ordained according to the Spirit to receive it, they, and the rest was history. Right? We're examples of entering into other men's labors.
That's how the Spirit works.
And that's how the Spirit carries over, man. Right?
That was the point.
Point there.
I had a quick preset to push. It's Sirach, chapter 24, and 30. It says, I also came out as a brook from a river, and it's talking about wisdom. It says, as a fountain to a garden. I said, I will water my best garden, and will water abundantly my garden bed. And lo, my brook became a river, and my river became a sea. I will yet make doctrine to shine as the morning, and will send forth her light afar off.
You see how it went from water to doctrine? It made it real interchangeable right there. That's the point of this. As that seeing that water is growing, pulling up, and growing things around it, that's how this wisdom in this truth is doing. This word is doing. The understanding is growing. When this was cut off for a time. It prophesied that all of this would be cut off. It just happens to coincide with the time that we were scattered the deepest and the furthest away from who we were. We couldn't tap into the Holy Spirit at that time. It wasn't the time for that.
That's why I said after 3 days and a half, the Spirit of the Most High entered into it. So it's a period of time. And in darkness, the Lord, He pretty much rekindled us. Turn that light back on. It says that I will make doctrine to shine as the morning, and will send forth her light afar off. I will yet pour out doctrine as prophecy. I will pour out doctrine as prophecy, and leave it to all ages forever. Behold, that I have not labored for myself only, for all them that seek wisdom.
Yep.
See, and all tied it into wisdom.
You don't have prophecy, you don't have your own shot. We're talking about the scattering and the slavery, captivity of our people. That's like Israelite 101 right there, man. When we get into the prophecy, that's actually when Yahweh Shai gave his prophets, his servants, to prophesy of his return, man. And the events that's leading up to his return, man.
I got another one. This is Isaiah 52, and I'll get verse 2. It says, shake thyself from the dust, arise and sit down, O Jerusalem.
Yeah, the dust represents confusion. Shake yourself from the confusion, that's been put on you. Our people calling themselves anything under the sun, Israelites. That's confusion.
It says, loose thyself from the bands of thy neck, O captive daughter of Zion.
Now, when you understand, similar to what we were speaking about that, breaking the scriptures down, why is the neck an important place to have you bound at? Because it controls your whole body, particularly your head, where all actions kind of stem from. All right, every action in your body stems from your head, but if I have the neck, I got complete control, and it's the most vulnerable area on the body, and that's how we're captive from the most vulnerable places as a people. Start with our God.
That's an important part. Your head's your spine.
Yeah.
Runs your whole body up to your head.
Yep.
And around that neck area, you break that, man. It's a wrap. It's a wrap, man. You're done.
Also, it speaks about shaking off the dust, that confusion, like the brother said. Because mentally, mentally our people are held captives here. And everywhere they're at. They're held captives by a false sense of knowing
freedom.
Exactly.